Farms. Something that will be essential for me to meet my goals in this series. I'll have to make so many different ones in order to save time gathering resources so that I can build these massive structures and builds. So, for today, I've decided to try and make a couple. Ones that I'm going to need for this upcoming adventure. Only downside is, I don't know how to build them. Will I do it? Will I fail? Watch to find out. After loading back into the world, I knew I was going to need more dirt. What a surprise. But for auto farms, it's much easier to build with dirt as it's so abundant. So I'm going to once again need a lot of it. I realized that it was going to take quite a long time to get everything I need with stone tools, so my first goal was to build an iron farm this session. Before I started this, I decided I needed an ocean underneath all of my builds, so that if I fall while building, I don't die. This is a simple process as you just place a few blocks in a diagonal line, place a block of water in each corner, and then just build out from there. With that done, it was time to prepare to build the iron farm. In order to do this, I needed a stack of iron. I know. Iron-ic. Get it? Iron-ic. No, okay, moving on. To get all the iron I needed, I decided to go exploring through villages, killing their golems, and hoping to find the diamonds I would need for an enchanting table. I probably spent an hour going village to village, killing golems and looting blacksmiths. I eventually came across another stronghold, finding some pearls which I put on my hotbar so that if I fall, I can pearl to the ground safely and live. And thank goodness I decided to loot this stronghold. I found 2 diamonds, exactly the amount I needed for my table. With 2 diamonds in hand, I decided to loot the rest of the stronghold, getting a few enchanting books and not really anything else. I didn't really come across anything useful. There was this one thing that I don't know what it does. If you guys know what this new item does, leave it down below. After getting the rest of the iron I needed, I set off back home to get to building this farm. I know I said I didn't know how to make these farms, and I wasn't lying. So I looked up a few guides until I found one that wouldn't use too many resources, which was important as I don't have many to begin with. You would not believe how many takes it took for me to get that mine, and I didn't even do it properly. Like, it's so frustrating, so I just settled on the best one that I could do. For some reason, I just can't read today. After making it back to my village, I decided it's time to start building this farm. I start by building up 30 blocks above the ocean that I made, so that if I fall, I don't die, which makes me feel nice and safe. Then I have to place a boat to trap a zombie in. I chose to build it in this way, using a boat rather than a name tag, because I don't have a name tag and it would definitely be harder for me to find one. Before I could get the zombie, I wanted to make the most of this day, so I went back and made an enchanting table, as well as many bookshelves as I could, so that I can get higher level enchantments. I was only level 21. But as I was soon to have an infinite iron source, I decided to enchant my chest and legs, getting protection 2 on both, which is really nice and definitely saved me a few times during this session. Then, I just waited until nighttime. I picked my undead victim, led the zombie up the stairs and got it trapped in the boat. Having now trapped my little undead friend, I head back to base and enjoy the view the shaders provide along the way. I sleep through the night, ready to continue work in the morning. And as the sun rises, the next thing I need to do is fully trap the zombie in on all sides, and build the area for the villagers to sleep. In order to trap the zombie in a 1x1 area, we're going to need to use a piston to move blocks into place. This is because there's a boat there and I can't place blocks where the boat is already occupying, so we're going to push those blocks onto the boat to get it in place. For those of you who are wanting to see the full process of how this works, I'll link the video I used down below so you can go and follow that if you want a more in-depth guide. But now I just needed to finish building the area the villagers were going to sleep in. So you put a bed down, a torch, and just make sure it's as small an area as possible so that they will see the zombie and start to panic. Now that I've finished the area the villagers are going to be sleeping in, it's time to lure some villagers up there. There is just one slight problem though. All the villagers in my village, the one that I've been sleeping in and using as my home base, are either being used for trades, which means I don't want to get them trapped, or they're dead. I could breed more villagers, but that would take more time, so I decided to use the newly placed ocean to my advantage and stole 3 villagers from one of the other nearby villages. This was a nightmare. I suck at moving villagers around, so this took a lot longer than I wanted it to. But after moving them over to my village, I used profession tables to lead them up and get them trapped in their forever homes, never to be seen again. And with that, they're all trapped and where they need to be, so now I need to build the platform the golems are going to spawn on. This didn't take too much time, it's pretty straightforward, as you can see it's just speeding past in the background. And with that, part up here is now finished. Time to build the kill chamber. And with that, I'm all done, and now I have an infinite supply of iron. All I need to do is wait. I want to beat the Ender Dragon. To do this, I'm going to need some totems of undying, just in case I make a mistake so that I don't ruin all this progress. To get them, I'm going to need to get a raid farm. So that is the next goal on my list, and to build it, I'm once again going to need a lot of dirt. So I got to mining. The full double chest of dirt, I set off to build a 64 by 64 plane of dirt, which will be where the pillagers will spawn. I start by building the outline, as I find it easier to fill in the area rather than do it bit by bit in like a row. I don't know why I'm saying that. I feel like everyone does that. I should just shut up and get on with the next bit. With the outline done, I now need around 64 stacks of dirt to fill it in. This took so long and was super tedious. I have done a few big builds before, but never thought that building a farm would be this bad. Hopefully, it's worth it. If you think this has been going well so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave a like, it means a lot. Partway through building this, I got really worried that I was going to fall, so I decided to make another small ocean under the farm, which would mean if I fell, I would be safe. And with that done, it's time to start placing dirt again. This is going to be about 30 seconds for you, but it was around 10 minutes and I'm still not done. This took so long. I really hope it works. Otherwise, this was a massive waste of time. The final blocks placed, that's the platform all done. Now I need to build the rest of the farm. But there is one little problem. I need wood that can't burn, which means I need wood from the nether. See, I need to build a lava trap, and to do this I need fence gates that won't burn. And with this being hardcore and having played for around 13 hours at this point, I really don't want to die. My hope was that I would build the portal, get it lit, hop in, and spawn in a forest. I don't know what the chances of this are, but that was what I was hoping for. So, I built the portal, and after struggling to light it with wood, I enter, hoping for the best spawn I could get. And I got... Let's go, baby! I got the freaking forest spawn. Luck was on my side. I got enough wood for the fences and immediately left. Knowing my luck, I would just fall in lava and die straight away. After gleefully returning unscathed from my journey, I build the fences and go back up, placing a 13 by 13 square around the center of the spawning platform, putting the lava trap in the very middle. As I now have to build a platform down below, I use water to get down underneath the platform and place 1 or 2 blocks under and use that to build the new floor. If you want to see this build in full, I will link the guide I used down below, same as I did for the iron farm. After finishing this floor, I dig out a diamond shape in the middle and again use water to build the next room down. Oh, and for those who are wondering, why would you ever need an ocean below you? Here's why. While I was building this final room, I fell. If I hadn't put the water there, this run would be over. I would have died there and then. Luckily, I planned ahead and climbed back up to finish the final chamber. After finishing that chamber, I need to dig out a corner block and build down 20 blocks from there to build the room that will house the villager. I connect the villager room to the stairs and lead a villager to their permanent cell. Again, I had to get one from the nearest village, as my village still doesn't have any ones that are alive. I lead the villager up and make them a fledger in hopes I can use them for emeralds in the future. Now all that's left to do is place the water and the lava up top, and this build will be finished. I make an infinite water source so I don't have to keep going down to get water. I keep getting this weird visual glitch, which has to be something to do with the shaders, where blocks are invisible. It doesn't have any effect on the game, and since I get an outline when looking at blocks, it's really not that big a deal, but it is kind of spooky at times. I place the water in the bottom room in the opposite corner to where the hole is, then head up to the next layer, replacing the edges of the diamond hole that we made earlier with stairs, so that mobs don't get stuck on the corners of blocks. Then I place water in the outside corners. Now, I have to go and get enough wood to make enough trapdoors to go around the inside of the hole. I do this as using trapdoors will make the pillager AI think there's a block there and fall into the water, which will push them to the villager down below, allowing me to farm them. I get enough trapdoors, place them all the way around the outside, and now all that's left to do is place the lava, find some pillagers, and get Bad Omen. And with that, the farm's finished. I did, however, spend most of the next 3 hours trying to find pillagers, but couldn't get them to spawn no matter what I tried. So, in between doing this, I did a few miscellaneous tasks, like mining some cobblestone, as I'm going to need a lot for the main build, as it's going to be used for roads, support pillars, and such for the slums area, as well as some of the buildings up top. Look out for the next episode, as that's when I intend to build the massive frame of the floating city. I find the more I play, the more I'm thinking about this build, and I have so many amazing ideas that I can't wait for you to see. I did come across a wandering trader who was trading sand and a new sapling, which was amazing, as I'm going to need as many different types of blocks for these builds as possible, and I need sand in order to build a sand farm in the future, be able to freely generate it and get enough for the build. I didn't know at the time that you can't stop them from despawning, and stupidly put him in a boat and built a little box around it. I wish I'd known this at the start so I didn't waste any of my time doing it, but it is what it is. I made sure to get the leads from the llamas, because why not, free leads. And I spent the rest of my time fishing, hoping to get an infinity bow, but with no luck, I decided that that would be where I'd end it today, and was looking forward already to the next session. And for anyone that made it this far into the video, I just want to say a massive thank you. Leave a comment so I know who has actually finished this. You are an absolute legend and I appreciate it. If you have any suggestions at all for the next video, please leave them down below. And other than that, I'll see you next time.